that you probably ran into problems like that too. You're like, oh God.
All the time.
Yeah.
We're getting attacked by dogs here.
We're getting attacked by dogs.
4 different dogs.
4 dogs right near our camera there. Toronto versus everybody. That's the sweater on that dog right there.
But they can smell the poutine.
I think everybody seems to be winning though. That's cute. He's cute though. You've got to get out of here though. Your owner's calling you, buddy.
All right, welcome back to another video, and today I'm with Matt. We go way back, like literally 25 years, like kindergarten way back. We've always been involved in video, and today we just finished up shooting a video about poutine. Matt runs a channel called Toronto Eats. I'll leave a link in the description. Really great channel, just reviews restaurants around Toronto. We're talking about being a creator on YouTube. So I gave you my thoughts and views on what your channel's about, but could you go in a little more detail about what you're doing, how long you've been at the whole YouTube thing, and yeah, what it's about?
Well, I've actually been using YouTube as a platform since like 2010, 2011. I used to do comedy videos, comedy sketches, vlogs, I guess. And then from there, as you know, trying to go down a path that was slowly becoming obsolete on YouTube. I find like comedy sketches in general, not that there isn't some successful ones out there today. So I was riding that way for a bit. And then once those videos and those channels started to diminish, like so did all the ones that helped get created because of channels like that. I almost gave up on YouTube completely, and then after a while I was like, why don't I bring a camera out one time, we could try something with this. And then that kind of led to the first video, which is 6 in the 6 best donuts in Toronto. And we shot that first vlog style 6 in 6 video. It was decently successful. I thought, why not keep doing it? I mean, everyone likes food.
You know, you grew up, went to school in Toronto. That was, I guess, a natural push towards the direction of the channel, some sort of inclusion of Toronto.
Yeah, like I wanted Toronto to be involved in it. The name Toronto Eats, it was a name that I was like, it's gotta be taken. Like it just sounds like a pretty good name to go with. Toronto, I live in Toronto, I've grown up here my whole life. Eats, everyone eats. Very, very universal to what the city is.
So I wanted to talk a bit about how long you've been a creator for, even way before the YouTube days of creating like flash animations. Do you remember that way back in the day? Like that was like, what, must have been grade 6, grade 7, creating, what was it, Macromedia Flash?
All the stick animations and stuff. Yeah, we used to do a lot of flash animations.
I'll see if I can find one and I'll put it here. Yeah,
if you could, that'd be nice if it overlays the video right here. Yeah, we did some of that before. I remember you kind of were really involved in that, and it kind of got me to like that as well. And,
let's start with the flip books.
The flip books, yeah, we used to do the flip books. Yeah. Like I would draw a lot. We always used to draw Venom and Spider-Man. We used to trade comic books back in the day, the McFarlane era, Spider-Man, the good era. From that, like we also, me and my brother, we would film like a lot of short videos and weird horror movies and stuff, and print them to DVD. Back in the day when you used to burn DVDs on your computer, we'd be like making video menus and everything.
Yeah, what a waste of time now.
Yeah, what a waste of time now. Like literally, it's completely useless skill set to have.
How did your mentality change, or is it the same, or like what's your approach these days?
Well, my approach these days, I try not to delineate too much from what got you inspired in the first place, right? So I still think of it as a fresh approach. I still want to be learning every time that I take out the camera and I think of a new idea for a video. A lot of it's on the fly too. So I like the improvisation.
What was the process behind learning about B-roll and learning how to put a sequence together?
If we were shooting something at a restaurant and I'm interviewing someone later after I'm done, I will have to think about what I just said and retrace it back in my memory and think about what B-roll I could use to edit to show some sort of a story. Unless it's really planned ahead, you'll shoot B-roll like before sometimes, but most of the time when you're shooting on the fly, it's all after. Like you're like, okay, B-roll, unless it's like establishing shots, then you know you're probably gonna need them, so you should probably grab those when you can beforehand. But anything that's going to be edited into the video, I always get that stuff after. Because I only shoot one camera. Right. So when you have only one camera, you got to really be smart about how much B-roll, because later when you're editing a monologue or something, you're like, this can't be the only usable footage I have. You're going to have to double dip into a clip that you may have already used a bit and hope that no one remembers that you already used that B-roll before.
You never went to college though for films.
I did actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Centennial, yeah.
What program was that again?
It was broadcasting and film, one of which is kind of useless now, broadcasting aspect of it. Eventually film will be too.
Right. So it's funny that you say that because I just filmed a video, so it'll be online at this point by the time this video comes out, talking about if film school is worth it. Like, should you go to film school?
Definitely learned a lot more film theory when I was in film school, so that helped. I think nowadays when you have things like YouTube and other, you can learn things in Quora and stuff. Like, there's so many different websites where you can actually learn a lot of the skills that you can get when you go to college or go to university or anything like that. Especially university, actually. To be honest, university is probably becoming more useless than college because it's mostly lectures that you can get online, like a podcast, and not a lot of hands-on work.
Since going to film school and then working in the industry for a few years after, if you had to do it all over again, what would be your approach?
My approach would, I think the internship is a good idea. It depends on what field or what part of film you're getting into, though.
Right.
There's so many people who's looking for help, and if you just lent a hand for free, I mean, no one likes working for free, let's be honest, but even YouTube channels, reach out to YouTube channels that look like they have a good growth, steady growth, and if you're looking to get into film in some regard, they might be able to, give you a hand. If you're a camera operator, editor.
Have you had media jobs in the past, or has it always been after film school straight into like your own stuff?
No, I mean, I've worked in media. I still technically do work in media right now, not just YouTube. I do think that the best investment you could ever have is in yourself. Whatever you're doing, don't dedicate too much time to something that's not serving your best interest when it comes to personal growth. Would you rather jump ship on your career or just keep developing yourself in your career? There's only so many times you can switch your career completely before it just looks like you don't know what you're doing in life whatsoever. It's like at least you have a passion for something, you're staying in something, some field. Try to find more work in that field rather than just jumping ship completely, I think.
For me, passion is a huge part of it. You need to like what you do. So how does passion play in the role for you?
Well, passion plays in it for me because I've always liked film, and I knew whatever I was gonna do, even if it wasn't gonna be what I originally intended, I just like film enough to be involved in some sort of creative process, something creative, right? But if you're passionate about something, that definitely helps, because if you're that passionate about something, it doesn't really matter where you are, you're going to find a way to make it work.
We've talked a lot about creating content for so many years. Was there a point, or have there been many points, where you've burnt out from creating content?
Yes and no. I mean, I was burnt out a bit. It's a lot of work keeping up a YouTube channel, especially if you're editing it, you're creating the concepts, you're filming, you're performing, you're writing, and then you're like, oh yeah, I got a full-time job as well. It's a lot. Even for this channel, I think the drive and passion is what keeps me wanting to make more content, keep wanting to edit videos, go out and shoot. And that's where the passion will play in as well. You have to have that in you, right? You can't give up. I'll push myself to do more writing, go home and edit if I have to edit. I push myself to do that. I'll push myself to reach out to more restaurants and find places to go, ideas, themes for videos. You gotta kind of never stop. I mean, tomorrow I'm doing my first ever stand-up. I'm doing, and it sounds, has nothing to do with this video.
No, but that's a creative thing.
I dared myself to do it, and I wrote a 5-minute act, and I'm gonna perform it tomorrow. And it's just it's just one of those things that you can't quit. Just keep doing whatever it is you're doing. Even if that's not something I want to pursue, I just want to say I've done it, and it's a different type of writing too. Writing for video and writing just regular jokes, sketches, short films, there's different styles of writing. I wanted to try to find a way I can dip my fingers in each, and that's something I'm doing.
As a video creator, you're constantly working hard. It's a lot of gear you have to carry around. It's a lot of equipment you need to buy. It can cost a lot of money. What would be your recommendations for someone just getting into the industry? Maybe 1 year after film school, or just graduated, or not even going to film school? What would be the first 1, 2, or 3 steps that you'd recommend?
First, I would look into affordable gear for someone who's beginning. I would look at reviews on YouTube. I would look at Amazon reviews. I'd look at eBay reviews. Look at any sort of review you can find that can benefit you in any way when you're making your first big purchase. I would look at not just what you're doing for a camera, what's your mic equipment. There's definitely a lot of cheap options out there that are good. Some people are like, oh, that's a cheap crap mic. Don't listen to that stuff, especially when you're just starting off. You just want to learn as much as you can. Go with that first. Don't buy the best camera ever unless you really are that confident in how good you think you're going to be right out the get-go. Cameras, as you know, depreciate in value, especially digital cameras, very fast. So Be very aware of that. So that's the first point I would take.
Yep.
Second would be to not panic. When you're first starting out making videos, it's more about making contacts, making connections, reaching out to people. Find a network of people who are all willing to help each other out. That's key. And if you make good enough content, eventually it'll catch on. So be patient. Third, be as consistent as you can, meaning if you're really gonna take YouTube seriously or you're gonna take anything you really do seriously, create a sort of calendar or schedule for yourself and upload on a certain date. At least find a way to release regular videos, and eventually things will get better. Because the quality will come with the consistency, I think. Because the more consistent you're taking yourself seriously, eventually your work is gonna get more serious.
That's a great point, yeah. The quality for me has improved drastically as I just shot more. Just constantly practice, just keep going out with your camera every single day. Another point here is don't just shoot anywhere. When you're starting out, people think they can just show up anywhere and press record, but it is so important to get a great location. This might not be the best location, but it's gonna be a lot better than if we went up to the top of the street where there's lots of traffic. And because there's so many other factors when there's cars driving by or just people walking by. We're in an open field for a reason. We're gonna be here for a while talking, so you have to think about it ahead of time and plan for your shoots. All right, so I hope that was helpful. That's all the questions I had for Matt. He runs a YouTube channel called Toronto Eats. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check that out. Thanks a lot for the interview, man. And we just finished this review video of the poutines. If you want to check that out, check out Matt's channel. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. All right, welcome back to another.
Wait, can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? One sec. I was gonna say, hey, you go.
Okay, you go.
No, okay, no, you
go.
You? No, it's all you. It's all you. You go.
You're smiling and I know you. I think you're gonna do it again.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna do it again. You go.